All right, hello, it's 10 o'clock, December 3rd, 2020, and welcome to the weather update. You can see here that we've been dealing with some cirrus today, so it wasn't a really nice clear day. We had some cirrus hazing up the sky, so it wasn't a really nice clear day. This is the current satellite. You can see even thicker clouds now. We are overcast, and look at the radar. We actually have a couple of light showers already. Probably not reaching the ground, but we see some light showers already spreading into our area. This is along I guess, what is a weak warm front. Um, Looking at the current conditions across the area, temperatures are in the upper 40s. So they're rising. Temperatures are rising with southwest winds or west southwest winds. Our highs today, let's take a look at that. High temperatures today were around the 50-degree mark, a little more or less close to average, maybe a little bit above average, especially in New Jersey. Of course, it's much warmer there. 54, not got much warmer there, not surprisingly. It's not a surprise at all, is it? No, it's not. Let me go back to the Weather Service page before we go look at the models. We got to deal with this coastal storm, so I want to look at the briefing for this coastal storm here that we have. We're going to have strong northeast winds, and that's not the briefing. I guess this is the briefing. So this is what we're going to be dealing with here for tomorrow, for Saturday. So an intensifying low pressure system will track southeast of the region Friday night and Saturday. This will bring heavy precipitation, gusty winds, minor coastal impacts, and gale conditions on the water. So rainfall, 1 to 2 inches New York City north and west, 2 to 3 inches for Long Island, Connecticut. Could be some minor urban and poor drainage flooding. Could be a heavy wet snow across the interior portions of southern Connecticut, northeast New Jersey, and the lower Hudson Valley. The winds, 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusts 35 to 45 miles an hour. And this is going to be late Friday into Saturday afternoon, heaviest on Saturday. Strongest winds are going to be Saturday morning into Saturday evening. Coastal flooding possible Saturday morning and early afternoon. High tide. And there's still some uncertainty on the track of this, but you can see they have a map of the predicted precipitation, and it looks like they have Long Island getting well over 2 inches of rain. So yeah, I know it's ridiculous. More rain again. What else is new? Meanwhile, if we were in Flagstaff right now, we'd have beautiful weather. Take a look at the weather in Flagstaff right now. So cold at night, 12 going up to 51. Sunny every single day. Dry air, 2 point -5. They just have it made there with the weather, don't they? Anyway, that's because they're in the middle of the continent. They're not by the ocean, and they're not, dealing with the moisture that comes from the ocean. So let's go take a look at our upper air, and we're going to take a look at the storm and see what's going to happen here. So you can see it's starting to take shape already, the southern stream over Texas, and as you move, it splits as we go into Friday into Saturday. This bit of energy here, cut off low, moves offshore, then develops into a pretty potent nor'easter. That moves away, and it affects us Saturday. You see that, moves away, brings down some cold air, and then here comes the next one for it looks like Tuesday. Another storm. This one passes a little more to the south of us. And then after that, we've got a ridge and more of a flat flow, but still a little troughing here and there, and then another big trough perhaps coming in around middle of December. So we still have a lot of changes going on. It's a very progressive pattern. Let's look at the European. Similar type of thing here. There's that trough. There you go. It intensifies, and then the European here has that second storm a little more over us. So we'll have to see how this all pans out, of course. So when we're back to GFS, we'll look at the surface, and we'll take a look at this storm that we're about to get here. So let me just roll this back. So this is going to be one hell of a powerhouse once it gets going. So you can see some of that moisture overrunning into our area tomorrow. We got some of that overrunning mostly light rain, but then here comes the heavy rain. Look at that. That's a lot of rain right there, and look at how wrapped up this thing gets as it moves offshore. And you can see some areas in New England might wind up getting a lot of snow. This is the GFS here. And then that moves away. We clear it out Sunday, and then here comes the next system. This one forms, again, more offshore, and hopefully stays offshore, but very potent. southern stream very active. And then after that, we should have some fair weather for a little bit. Um, so, with that said, let's get a little closer to our area and take a closer look at this storm here. First on the GFS. So this is the GFS model. Look at that red. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's some really when you have precipitation so heavy, you may have that dynamic cooling that may cause some mixing with snow in certain areas, and then you could see the heavy snow just inland from the coast there in New England. They could get clobbered, and then it kind of just sits there on Sunday, sits over Maine. So that's let's see how much total accumulated precipitation the GFS puts out. Look at that. Wow, has us in the purple. That's over 2 inches of rain there for Long Island. Very likely that we're going to see just a tremendous amount of rain again for that Saturday period. And also, we can also look at the total snowfall on this too. And you can see some areas might wind up getting close to a foot of snow in the mountains. And even coastal parts of Maine, perhaps, and into New Hampshire, getting over 6 inches of snow. So yeah, very our first real major nor'easter of the season. So we're going to next look at the winds because we're going to be dealing with some strong winds here. This won't be an LLJ type of wind, but it will be a strong wind event nonetheless. And you can see, look at some of these winds across the east end, especially getting the worst of it here Saturday midday. Winds sustained at 40 miles an hour. That's incredible. That's an incredible nor'easter right there. And look at some of those winds. So you know there's going to be some more power outages and problems. Here we are Saturday night, and there is the storm right there, lashing Cape Cod with sustained winds 40 to 50 miles an hour. Gusts could be well over that. So that's really incredible right there. And so we're going to be focused on this storm and the weekend pretty much. Well, let me go to the next model here, which we're going to look at the NAM 12 kilometer here. I don't want the 0Z. Give me the 18Z. I don't want enough of the. Alright, so here we go into tomorrow, and we'll take a look at the winds on the NAM. The NAM is not quite as NAM is further, has the core of the storm further to the east. You'll notice that. So if we go and we look at the precipitation, we look at the rainfall. We'll back this up so you can take a look tomorrow. So again, you get that light rain. It looks like the NAM's developing mostly to the north of our area, and then we get into the heavier rain. But it moves the rain out fairly quick. The NAM ends it by early afternoon, and then it's out of here. Whereas if we look at the GFS, I think it's a little slower. So let me look at the GFS here. So this is the GFS 12Z, 18Z. We're still dealing with the rain. We'd have to wait till maybe after 6 o'clock to get it out of here on the GFS. So GFS is closer and slower and deeper as well. Again, if you look at the NAM difference, it's always defaults to that. You can see it's further offshore and weaker. So this is the NAM. It's got more of a suppressed solution to it. The GFS has done good this year. So I'm leaning toward the GFS being right, because if we look at the NAM, probably brings us less precipitation. Oh, a lot less. Yeah, big difference. Big difference. So let me look at the HRRR, which is our next model. Let's look at the 0Z HRRR. And meaning that I have it in precipitation mode, we'll push it all the way here. And the HRRR brings us a closer track, and it gives parts of Long Island 2 inches. Let's take a look at this so you get an idea. The HRRR also, like the GFS, slower. So here is the storm again, and the HRRR is putting light rain over our area tomorrow, maybe some moderate rain, but the really heavy stuff waits until Saturday, and here it comes. So some real heavy rain here. Look at that, and you see how wrapped up the storm system is. Very wrapped up. So it looks very similar to the GFS. And I feel like if we look at the wind field, it'll also be similar as well. Yep. Though it doesn't really seem to want to bring the stronger winds on shore as much. I don't know if I buy that as much. But either way, the worst of the wind is going to be on the east end. But look at some of those winds there on this really wound up wound up system here, very wound up. And I do want to go back to the NAM, actually not the NAM, GFS. We want to look at one other parameter here, which is the FGen. So look at this as well for the storm as well as it moves into the area. Let's see where the worst is. This is the GFS, the FGen. It's mostly offshore. We're not gonna. Where's the storm? There it is. Jeez, it's like that ain't right. Yeah, you can see the FGen here. So a lot of heavy rain. Look at that. That's gonna support some really heavy rain right there. That's gonna support some heavy rain. Real heavy rain. Really heavy rain. But you'll see it's going to be cold. So if we go and we look at the temperatures, you'll see here are the temperatures. Temperatures upper 30s, low 40s. So chilly. And it's going to be chilly tomorrow too. Highs only in the highs around 50. But you can see the storm track to the south keeps the cooler air in. And that's why, maybe you might even see a snowflake or ice pellet mix in. And then behind that on Sunday, much colder. Temperatures only around 40 degrees. And then as we get into Monday, stays cold. Next week looks pretty cold overall. And then we start moderating a little bit, but it looks like we're going to be pretty chilly the next little while. So we do have some surges of warm air, but like I said, we are getting into a cold pattern. Well, not dramatically, Arctic cold, but cold, below normal for sure. With Canadian air coming in. So let's go look at the HRRR as far as the temperatures go as well. Do that too. Again, we'll go to that 0Z run. So this is the 0Z run here, and you'll see here the temperatures. Just going tomorrow, you can see the cool air coming in. So this is you can really see the circulation of this thing. But you can see we are firmly wrapped in the cold air. But you can see some really warm tropical air. So it's going to happen here. And if we look at the dew point, you'll see the same thing here. What you're going to see here is you got this surge of moisture coming up offshore. So what's going to happen is, put this back to the temperature. So what you have going on here is you have all this moisture being pulled up from the tropics into the storm, but the cold air is at the low levels. So it's going to mean heavy rain over this area here. And like I said, if it's a little colder, you might get that snow, but you have to have enough of a depth. We're too close to that tongue of warm air, I think. So I don't think we're going to see any snow here on Long Island. But like I said, interior New England, further north, you certainly might. And we could really see some. We'll look at the HRRR as far as the snowfall goes. And we'll see what these give us. So you could see snowfall occurring in New England, and even a little bit right over here. So maybe some snow could mix in if it comes down heavy enough. You could get that dynamic cooling that could occur. And that. Let me just look at one other thing. This is ML Cape and wind crossovers. Let me look at this. So we don't really have much of a threat for thunderstorms, let's say. That's more in the warm sector. But it will really be heavy rain with this. But very, very impressive storm. Very impressive storm indeed. So we'll go back to GFS and we'll look at the sky. And we'll just look at what's going to happen. So obviously clouds. But Sunday we get out of the clouds. We have a mostly sunny day. Very cold, mostly sunny day. Monday we'll have more clouds. Tuesday we'll have some clouds as well. And then maybe Wednesday we can clear it out again. But right now it looks like Sunday is going to be the next chance for some clear skies. But we got to get through this storm first. And again, there's a chance for light rain tomorrow. If we go to the total, let me go to the, I'll go to the total accumulated precip here. So we move this along here. I'll move this back. So see how much rain we get tomorrow. It won't be all that much, but we could still see maybe up to 1/4 of an inch of rain. Or from the light rain that's overrunning, and then we'll get more into the heavier stuff as time goes by. So let me go to windy.com here, and we'll look at this storm on windy.com too, because this is a good site to look at the wind And this uses the European model now. So let's go right up to Saturday here. And this is 11 a.m. And you can see sustained winds are pretty strong on the east end there. Pretty strong. We'll move this over to the afternoon. And you see sustained winds up 34 miles an hour. But it looks like the worst of the wind will be in eastern Suffolk. But this looks kind of similar to the GFS. Looks kind of similar to the GFS. So I think we have an agreement here that the GFS track is going to be, or at least that's what I'm thinking right now. So let me go to wind gusts here. This is wind gusts, all right. So as we get to that 1 p.m. hour, this is when you start seeing the wind gusts. 40s, but on the east end, you could be gusting close to 60 miles an hour. So yeah, you're going to be some strong winds, but you see most of the strongest winds are on the east end of Long Island. Not so much in Nassau County. And also we have the precipitation. We can also look at that as well. So you can see there's the rain. This is 3 p.m. It looks like maybe we try to get rid of it by 5, 6 o'clock. Maybe. This is tomorrow with the light rain over us. All right, but I want to go back to the wind and wind gusts, and we're going to look at the GFS now. All right, we're looking at the Euro. So let's look at the wind gusts with the GFS. So you can see the worst of the wind is going to be over the east end. That seems to be, it almost looks like it's got an eye in it, which is kind of weird. But worst of the wind looks like it's over the east end. It does not look like it is going to be over. We'll still get windy conditions here in Nassau, but I think as far as where the damage is going to occur, it's going to be mostly in eastern Suffolk. The other thing that we got to watch out for, let me go back to the European, waves. Because we could see that beach erosion here. Here you can see the waves here. Yep. So again, you got the waves up to possibly 10 feet at the beaches. So this is going to be and the Cape is really going to get, the Cape is going to get the brunt of this thing, I think. So if you're in Cape Cod, it's going to be pretty nasty. It's not really that unusual to see nor'easters. This is going to be a nor'easter type of thing. We can see a lot of LLJs, which is unusual with the storm track to the west, but this is a little more typical for this time of the year. So, but it's going to be a pretty significant storm and a taste of winter, even though we're not going to be seeing snow here on Long Island. It's going to be a nasty day on Saturday. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care and thank you for watching.